Hey, Coach Azir. So here are my top 5 exercises to help bulletproof your joints and your back. First one is with respect to improving your core strength and endurance, both your front abdominals, your side obliques, and even your low back. So it's a plank, and any variation of planks are going to be very beneficial because they're not getting you to kind of twist like the classic crunches and sit-ups and rotational exercises that as you age, you certainly want to be careful of because it does put a lot of strain on your low back. So you would basically start with the classic, plank from your knees if this is kind of your initial stage, this is your level of fitness. And so just kind of making sure that you tuck your bum in and you engage the core, tuck in the belly a little tiny bit, and then just hold this position for say 30 to 60 seconds. If you can do this no problem for upwards of say 60 seconds, then you could certainly transition to the true front plank. And again, holding this for 30 to 60 seconds, again, tucking your bum and engaging your core. And then of course you could even look at the side plank version where again, you could start from the knees if this is kind of your current capabilities, elbow right underneath shoulder, just nice be a straight line from your shoulder to your knee. Again, if you can hold this no problem for 60 seconds per side, then you could look at transitioning to more of a full side plank. Again, keep your hips up, tuck the bum, engage the core, hold for 30 to 60 seconds per side. Then we have something for your glutes. Your glutes are a significant contributor to low back health, low back strength and function, but also it's your biggest, what I would say your most important muscle group when you're talking about also pelvic or hip health and then also knee health. So is to kind of increase the strength of your glutes. So you're all pretty familiar, say, with the bridge where you just lift your hips up and down, but from a balance perspective and trying to isolate one side to the other, a single leg bridge is the next exercise that can help bulletproof your body. So once you're in that kind of top position here, you just raise up, and then from there, you're just gonna drive. So keep the knee kind of towards you, okay? Lie flat, and then you're just gonna drive the hips up as far as you can. So that's the goal. Holding for about a count of 2 and then coming back. And you drive through the heel of the front foot. So even if you want to raise your toes, but you just go up as high as you can, hold for a 2 count. Try to not allow your hips to dip. That's the goal here, is to really challenge your strength and your balance. And you basically look to do about 15 to 20 reps per side. The next exercise is squats. And even just because we do it umpteen times a day, every time we sit down, it's definitely a fundamental movement that you want to make sure that you're doing correctly because one, you utilize the muscles that we should be using, but the other, primarily, most importantly, is that you're also saving either your spine, your low back, or also putting pressure amongst your knees. So most people when they squat, they initiate the movement through their knees go way over their toes, then they try to correct, or they round the upper back. And so it's putting a lot of pressure both on your low back and your knees. So I like to, when you're kind of learning to do squats correctly, put a chair behind you, have a nice kind of wide base of support with your hips, and then, chest out. So main thing is keeping your chest always straight forward and then pushing your hips back as far as they can. That's where the movement initiates from, is your hips, not your knees, okay? So you're gonna really push back, like you're almost reaching for a chair that's slightly behind you, touch, come back up. But look where I am, right? Where my body weight should be kind of around my midfoot, middle of foot / heel, okay? And then up through. So back, reach back with my hips, and then as I'm standing, I'm gonna really engage my glutes, and that then really forces you to utilize those big hip extensors to help with the squat. The fourth movement is a row. Now you've got to understand that we all tend to be doing everything that's in front of us. So whether you're a desk worker or you're in the remote field, you're constantly, you having our hands forward. And what happens is, also think about how often you're sitting, say, on the couch or in a chair. So everything is kind of slouched forward. So if you do a lot of pressing movements, you actually get stronger, but you actually reinforce the improper posture. So when you're looking at actually having healthier shoulders, but also improving your posture, what you need to do is strengthen the upper back, because by strengthening your upper back, it acts to help to draw your shoulders kind of back into more of a good, correct, neutral position. And I'm going to show you 2 versions of that. One is with a band. Now I have a band literally attached to my stair railing in the house. And so it's a straight, you can use any band that you want, be nice and tall, okay? And then literally you just row. You can do one arm at a time, or you could do, two arms at a time. That's if you only have a band, right? You're literally just bringing that back and engaging your shoulder blade as you bring it back. Or take like a light dumbbell, bend at the hips, keep your low back nice and flat, so don't round, okay? And then once you're in a bend over position, just take the dumbbell and literally row straight up. Keep the elbow nice and tight, hold for a couple of seconds, and really 15 to 20 reps for any version will help increase the strength of your back to help with improving your posture. The last so-called power movement is mobility. Now I could show you a heck of a lot of stretches that guaranteed you would benefit from, because most of us don't do much stretching at all. Micro stretches throughout your day at your workplace is been proven to really assist with reducing musculoskeletal injuries at the workplace. So I would strongly recommend that you do little micro breaks with stretches or movement. But when it comes to our classic low back, tight hips, the tightness of your hips directly correlates with tightness of the low back. So always keep that in mind. A lot of people just say, I got to stretch my low back, when in fact, if you just stretch and open up your hips, hamstrings, hip flexors, hips, you'll actually feel much greater relief in terms of back tension. So I'm going to show you two versions of the Piriformis stretch, which is that outer hip kind of muscle right in your deep kind of glute that just tends to be tight chronically for people that are sitters and desk workers. So if you lie on your back, okay, cross one leg up on top, and then literally just grab your hands through the hole, and then try to bring your whole leg unit towards your chest while relaxing the rest of your upper body. So you're bringing the whole unit up towards your chest, and by doing that, okay, you get a good stretch right through that deep glute. Or for some of you, maybe if you have the ability, is just do a stretch like such, right? Where you just kind of get into this position where the leg's in front of you and you kind of keep your chest square to the floor, and then you literally just kind of bend a little forward straight down. And by doing that, I'm gonna get a big stretch again through that kind of deep side glute muscle. Any stretches should be about 30 seconds minimum, repeating really throughout the day if you're feeling specific tension in that area. So hopefully these help for you.